Hello, my crafty friends. Welcome back to Cardz TV. This is Mary, and it's Wednesday, so you know what that means. It's time for Wayne's Wednesday Mystery Card Challenge. And what that means is I give Wayne my 2 books of sketches. I give him a stack of papers, and he picks 1 sketch, 3 papers, and he puts them inside this envelope, and it's closed up, and I open it with all of you, and I take out the sketch and the papers, and I see if I can make a card out of it. So far, we've been doing pretty good. I don't know what's in here this week. I'm real nervous about it, like always, because I know he's going to get me stumped one of these days. I know he is. But several of you had asked me to show you how I have my sketches arranged in my little book. I get these little photograph albums at Dollar Tree. They're $1.25. And I just take the sketches. There's a glare, I'm sorry. And they're in numerical order. And I print them out. I trim them to fit inside. They just slide in at the top. And I've got all my sketches here. And I print mine out at the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch size. So it's the same size as my card. So if I want to take my papers and, lay it on here and then lay my embellishments and the other pieces on here, I know approximately how it's going to go together before I actually start gluing things. So that helps a lot. But this is all it is, guys. I just print them out and put them in my little books. I have 2 because each book will hold 50 if you start at the first page and then put one in the last. So we're up to 62 now. So I'm going to try to get this book filled up too. So that's all it is, guys. Now I'm going to get these moved out of the way, and we're going to find out what Wayne has picked for me to work with this week. Are y'all ready? Keep your fingers crossed that it's something good that I can work with. That's it. The envelope's empty. Okay. We've got Cardz TV Sketch number 13. I haven't used this one in a long time, so that'll be fun working with that. Okay, we've got some cute pink with little white hearts on it, but it's not double-sided. Here's a pretty black, pink, and green. I love that. It's not double-sided. And here's a pretty green with leaves. Oh dear, nothing's double-sided. But you know what? I think he did great. Because look at these pinks. I like that. These 2 look like they may have come from the same paper pad. And this one, I'm not sure. But I think I can come up with something. And whatever scraps we have left, we're going to do like last week and make a bonus card out of the scraps that are left. Okay, guys, I'm ready to go for this challenge. So let me grab a card base and look for some things for my focal point and get some papers cut, and we'll come back and see what I came up with. Okay, y'all, I think I figured out what I'm going to do for this card. Now, I had these stamps from Dollar Tree, and I wanted to use this little watering can up here. So I stamped it, and we're going to use that. I've got my favorite die. That's this scalloped rectangle. You know how I love it. And then I've got a 2 1/4 inch square stitch square and a 2 inch square dies. Going to use those. And then I have this tiny little stamp set that I've had for years. I pulled it out of my stash. It came from Sizzix, and it has a number on it. And if I can make out what it is, I will leave it in the description down below this video in case y'all want to see if it's still around. I kind of doubt it because I've had it for years, like I said. But I used the leaf and this one little small flower. I don't know why I pulled that out. I didn't need that one. But it also has the dies, so I cut those out. Now we're going to be using some Copic markers and some Memento ink and a few other things, but I'll show you all that when we get to it. So I'm going to move all of this out of the way and bring in my card base and my papers, and we'll get started on the Wednesday Mystery Card Challenge. This one's going to be fun. Now this looks like a pretty simple sketch, doesn't it? But look at all the papers I've got here, guys. I think I took something simple and made it a little more complicated. I have changed the measurements up, and I'm going to tell you what they are as we go along. Let me grab my glue, get that pen out, and I've got a little cheat sheet over here since I'm not using the same measurements that are on the sketch. Okay. We've got our card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, and it's white. To go on that, I used my favorite die, and this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. That's going down next. Now, actually, the next mat is supposed to be 4 by 5 1/4, but I cut this black mat because we're going to be putting this green and white mat on here, and I didn't want it to fade into that green. It needed this piece of black, especially since we have black in our border piece. So I cut the black at 3 3/4 by 5. That's going to go down next. And then this I cut at 3 3/8 by 4 7/8. Now see how that just helps that stand out? And then for this border right here, it's supposed to be 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. Well, because I've cut all of this smaller, I also cut this smaller, and I added a black border. So the black border is 1 5/8 by 4 7/8, because I wanted this to stand out too, because it's got some of that same green in it. And our little flowered border is 1 1/2 by 4 7/8. See all these pieces I've cut? Oh my goodness. But isn't it pretty? I really like that. So I'm going to take my glue and get all of this adhered together, and when we come back, we're going to add our squares, and then we'll take a look at our focal point. It's going to be really pretty. Well, that is so pretty on there. I love that. Now, we've got our squares, and let me tell you again, I changed the size. The black square, let's see, did I change it? No, I didn't. I left these the same. Our black square is 2 1/4, and our white square is 2 inches. And we've cut 2 of the black and 2 of the white. I'm going to get these adhered together. And if we look at the sketch, it's going to go just about like that. That's our sentiment, and I stamped it with tuxedo black ink from Memento. And here's our other one. And this is where our focal point is going to go. And we're going to move this over just like in the sketch. And I may put a little piece of foam tape under this one because it's coming across this square, and it might need it right there to level it out. So I'll grab my glue and get these attached. Okay, now I did put a little piece of foam tape right under this side of the sentiment square and just glue on this side, and then this whole square is on foam tape. Now let's bring in what we're going to use for our focal point. Let's see. I've got lots of little pieces here. Okay, these are the leaves from that little stamp and die set. And I think I'm going to trim off these little stems down here because they're going to be a little too long. See how that hangs over? So I'm going to trim those off, and they're going to go right there. And then I've got 3 little flowers that I stamped and die cut. I've got 2 in a lighter pink and 2 in this really pretty kind of a lilac. Well, no, it's not lilac. Let me grab the stamp pad and see what it is. This is from Memento. This is called Lilac Posies. So this is lilac. And these are blush. So I'm going to cut the stems off, and we're going to arrange our little flowers right here. And I may pop this one up. But see, it's very close to the color of the flowers in that border. And then here's my little watering can. Now, I stamped this and cut it out with my craft knife. And it already had a lot of, what do you call that? Anyway, the stamp had a lot of texture and dimension to it, you know, to make it look real. But I took 2 Copic markers. I took C1 Cool Gray and C3 Cool Gray 3 and just went over it to give it a little bit more color. Now I'm going to grab my scissors and trim these little stems, and I'm going to get all this attached to the card. And when we come back, we're going to put some embellishments on here and jazz it up just a little bit more. But isn't that cute? I love that little watering can. And it's stamped so nicely to be a Dollar Tree stamp. I was very happy with it. So we'll come back when I get all this on and put some bling on here. Let's cut these stems off. We don't need them. Okay, we've got our leaves and our little flowers on. I put some foam tape under this little lilac one to give it just a little more height and dimension. And I've got some foam tape on my little watering can. Don't be afraid to try Dollar Tree stamps, guys. Sometimes you might get one that doesn't want to stamp very well. But I think most of the time you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Okay, there's our watering can. Isn't that cute? I love that. But if you do get one and, you know, most of it stamps, but some of it doesn't, you're only out $1.25. And if it works, you got a great little stamp set that didn't cost you a whole lot. Okay, I've got these black and silver flat gems. These are called round jewel dazzles, and they're from paperwishes.com. And I love these things. They have them right now. I think it's $1.99 per sheet, and they come in lots of different colors. And I have just thoroughly enjoyed using these. Let's just put some of these little jewel dazzles in the center of our flowers. Give them a little more personality. Oh, that's so cute. And that's the perfect size. Okay, where'd you go? I dropped one. Here it is. Tuck that one up under there. Oh, look how cute that is. I love that sparkle and shine. And I think we'll put a couple up here. Let's see, do we want to use one of these bigger ones? I really like the little small ones. Maybe right there. You know me, if I don't like where I put it, I'll move it off camera. Now, on the sketch, we've got 3 up here. And we like to do things in odd numbers. So we've got 3, 4, 5. That would be 8. So I really need to put another one here because we want 9, right? If we do things in 3s. Let's put this one right there. Now, I don't know if I want to put these larger ones. Yeah, that'll work. Let's put one here. I'll take them off if I change my mind. One here. You know what? I like it with just 2. So that's 2, 5. That's 8. Not supposed to have 8, right? But I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, guys. Here is our mystery card for this week. This is episode 4. I think it turned out really, really cute. I love that little watering can and those little flowers. And those little gems just really, really make it stand out, don't they? I know where I need to put another gem on this one. Let's put it right here. Too close. Okay, there we go, guys. That finishes our mystery card challenge. Now let's see what kind of scraps we have, because we're going to make a bonus card. That's so cute. I love it. Okay, we did not use that cute little piece of pink with the little white hearts. Something already took a chomp out of it, and I couldn't use it for the border because it wouldn't have been wide enough. And I really like this one better anyway. But we've got this left of our green and white, and we got a good bit left of this one. I'm going to grab a card base and my sketchbook and see what else I can come up with. So I'll meet you back here in just a minute. Okay, y'all, for our bonus card, this is all I have left now after doing this bonus card. I've still got scraps, but we're going to use Cardz TV sketch number 28. This is one of my favorites, and I followed the sketch. We have a black mat going on our white card base. Our card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then our black mat is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. And our pattern mat is 3 by 4 1/2. Then for this little banner across the bottom, or border rather, this is 1 inch by 3 3/4. I'm going to get all that glued down on my card base. And then to go on here, instead of this 2 1/2 inch circle, I decided to make a little wreath. And the way I did that, I took these 2 Spellbinders dies, and this one is about 2 3/4, and this one is 2 inches. I put them inside of each other and cut them out of the white cardstock, and this is how I got my little wreath. I also cut a little white circle, and this is where our sentiment is going to go. And this little circle is a little more than 1 1/2 inches, but not 1 3/4 inches. So that's how I got those. Now, I took some punches. I still have punches. This is a Martha Stewart leaf punch. I love it. I will never get rid of it as long as it keeps cutting. And I cut leaves in 2 colors of green. And then I had these, I think these are EK Success. I had these 2 little flower punches. I don't throw anything away, guys. That's why I have all these scraps. but I used all I had of this little piece of pink that matches this card. This was all I had. And I'm hoping it's going to be enough. But I punched out 4 of the larger flowers and 3 of the smaller. And I took these round jewel dazzles in black and silver and went ahead and put them on for the center of my flowers. And this is what I'm going to do for my wreath. I'm going to alternate the leaves. I'll put a medium green and a light green. A medium green. And I'm only going to put glue on the ends so they'll stay fluffy and give lots of dimension. And I'm just going to keep alternating these leaves all the way around this little wreath form that I made. When I get all those on, I'm going to go back and put my little flowers in different places. And I think it's going to be really cute. What do you think, guys? We'll find out. So I'm not going to make you watch me gluing all these leaves and flowers down. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going with this. And when we come back, we're going to put our wreath and our little sentiment on the center of the card. So I'll be right back. Look at my wreath, guys. Didn't it turn out pretty? And it was so easy to make. Super easy. Now, I had 3 leaves left. We'll just hang on to those for another project. We're going to start putting our flowers on. And I'm just going to put a little drop of glue. We're going to start with a big one. And then a small one. And just keep alternating. And let's hope I don't have to have any more of that pink paper, because I don't have any more. I will be very sad. But I think we've got enough to do it. We do. Look at that. We've got enough. Okay, guys, I'm going to glue these down and get all this attached to the front of my card. And then we're going to put our sentiment on and put our wreath around it. And we'll have our bonus card done. And didn't it turn out cute? And it's made out of scraps. Super easy and so much fun. I have had so much fun making this little wreath. Okay, guys, I'll be right back in just a sec. Okay, y'all, our wreath is ready to go on. I've popped the sentiment up on some foam tape, and I've got my wreath on some foam tape. And we're just going to put that right around it. And press that down. Here is our little bonus card made out of the scraps. And we still have scraps left, guys. And I bet you know where these are going. I'm going to get out my little square punch. And you'll be seeing some quilt cards with these papers on it before too long. But didn't that turn out cute? I love that. And it was made out of scraps. And that was using Cardz TV Sketch number 28. Now let's bring in our mystery card challenge card. Now this was made with the papers and the sketch. That was sketch number 13 that Wayne picked for me this week. And I don't know which one I like best, guys. I love both of them. And like I said, we still have some paper left for making at least one more card. So get out your scraps, guys. Grab some sketches and just have fun. I can't tell you how much fun I had today making these cards. But I did. I had a great time. Poor Wayne hasn't had his dinner yet. So I better get up there and cook him some dinner, or he's not going to help me with this mystery cards challenge anymore. So thank you all so very much for coming by today. I hope you've enjoyed this. Like I said, get out your scraps and some sketches and go through your stash and see what you have. punches, dies, whatever. If you have a Cricut, use that. Use up your scraps and make some beautiful cards and have some fun. Remember, guys, I love you all. God bless you all. And I will see you again soon with another card. Bye now.